Speedway. The bull ring in this game, bull ring of dirt racing, kind of resembles Tazewell in real life, just ain't got the bank straightaways as much. I'm a Bulldog 46X underscore, and welcome here to the booth. With me is DK Brown 18. DK, who do you think's gonna be on top tonight at the bull ring?
Well, man, excited to be back in the booth again. Dreeben, you know, we got Charlie in the field. He's always the one to beat. I'm gonna go with the number 36 of Hacks. You know, I think he missed the last race. I believe he will be back this week, so I believe I'm gonna go with that number 36 car of Hacks.
Well, you know, AJ, when AJ always broadcasts our race, I think I'm gonna have to go with 17. We've talked about kind of putting bad juju on each other every now and then. Definitely gonna have to go with that 17 tonight. I don't think I'm gonna put any bad juju on him tonight. I think he's gonna bring home with that win here tonight, Drew. These guys are supposed to be running 12.8s around here. I mean, that is ripping. You're running about 12.8s, 100 laps. This race is going to go by fast. You don't need to blink your eyes for 1 minute to miss any bit of the action. We are going to be running stages here tonight. Damage is on, and 4 times tire wear.
Yeah, and as always, you know, the track position's key. So you're going to see, I think you'll see a lot of pit strategy under them stages. We've seen cars that were in the back stay out under them stages and was able to hold a top 5 finish. So, you know, that track position is real key in these late models.
Exactly, man. You know, the tires are very important, but I mean, the tire fall off ain't really bad until you blow that tire. It does drop off, you know, a half-tenth here, a tenth there. But I mean, honestly, your tires go. We all know, you know, I don't really know here. I know at Eldor it gets really bad. The tire wear here is also pretty bad because of how much you've got to, you know, really hustle this car around both those corners to have a real fast lap. You got to be down there gripping that inside, gripping that wall, really. You got to be down there right next against that wall. There's a little fine line, that white line right down there. You've got to be inside on these corners to have a real fast lap.
I'm currently searching for this guy's YouTube so we can keep up with the lap count.
You know, hopefully, that's another thing I'm really looking forward to the next game. There hasn't been any footage or anything like that of it, but I really want to be able to have the running order and laps and everything in the broadcast booth. It would help if 704, if you happen to see this, it would really help us out a ton if we was able to see that as broadcasters. Just like y'all. I mean, it would make the racing on here 10 times better. Well, not just the racing. The racing is already amazing with the level of skill and these guys have and everything. You know, these are the premier dirt guys. You know, we look at the premier, you know, asphalt guys. There's a couple of leagues out there that have really great guys. But I mean, this is the dirt league, you know. This is the dirt league everybody looks at. You know, if you want to be considered one of the top and the best in dirt, you've got to run here and you've got to beat these guys. Week in, week out, the dudes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they've got some of the fastest guys on the dirt. And dudes, I mean, I believe we can even see a 12.7 around there tonight. Them dudes are fast.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, we was just talking to Mook and AJ, and they, you know, they both said they ain't really that, you know, they don't really happen a whole lot. They're a little rare and far between, but I would not be surprised to see a mid 12.7s at some point during this race. It happens with these guys, you know, and definitely as we get to these late runs, there's less fuel in the car. You know, one thing here at Dreeben is also, it's kind of like one track that I really compare the passing to and everything, and on the asphalt side is Dover. You know, it's really hard to pass. It's one-laned, really tight, and there's not, you know, any other way to pass except getting underneath that guy. So
most definitely, and coming into the turns this track, you've got to be right down there on the wall in the turns, as low as you can possibly get it. And it's going to be hard for these guys to actually get up underneath them clean. I mean, I believe we'll see some dive bombing going on tonight, trying to get positions.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about knowing your surroundings, and also, and this is going out to kind of all the drivers and everybody else. If you're sitting here watching and you're wanting to get into this thing, be aware of your surroundings. One thing that I've always been preached on here and everything. If somebody's at your corner panel entering, you've got the right of way. But if they're at your door entering that corner, you've got to give that up. If y'all can race if they're at your quarter panel, but I mean, you've got to give them some room. You've got to give them some serious room, especially on dirt, once they're at your door. One thing that also, we mentioned is the tire wear really, coming from, a little bit more of the asphalt side, a lot of those right fronts wear a lot more on the asphalt. Well, here in dirt, you're definitely going to be seeing a lot more of that right rear. And as those cars and everything, usually on this game running asphalt, the car will get a whole lot looser. On dirt, it's going to get a whole lot tighter, because it's going to start trying to really rock back on that right rear, and as the more the right rear rocks back on it, it's going to pick up the left front. The left front's going to be wanting to drive towards the wall.
Yeah, I've actually come to really enjoy watching these guys, man. It's really entertaining. I'm not a dirt racer at all. I don't think I've raced a dirt series on this game, but maybe twice the whole time I've had.
Well, coming from dirt and everything, having my grandfather and my dad both race super late models, and my grandfather actually raced them when they had the big wings and stuff on the roof of them back in the day, back in the 60s and 70s and whatnot. I definitely have a passion for dirt. It's just, these guys definitely have as much talent as any guys in the pro league, honestly, but except theirs lies on dirt. I would definitely
I believe it might not happen within the next year or so, but I believe they'd look into maybe a pro league for the dirt guys. I think it'd be something that would draw viewers. It's entertaining to watch.
Definitely, I would much rather sit here and broadcast a dirt race much rather than I would something on asphalt any day of the week. It definitely drags in a lot. I think it drags in a lot more viewers than even the asphalt does, because it has a lot bigger of an audience. You don't see. Yes, like we look at the NASCAR Cup Series and everything, and how everybody watch that. Well, to go to those races, it's not as open to go to your Saturday night short track. And short tracks, the dirt tracks are dying in America, and that's something we really got to look at. It's sad to see a lot of great tracks here in Kentucky have died out. Coming up, later on this week in real life, we have the Dirt Million actually coming up, which will be definitely interesting to watch.
Oh yeah, I think here in Alabama we got the Talladega short track. It's right beside Talladega Super Speedway, and I always enjoy going out there on the weekends every now and again and watching them guys go around that track.
Yeah, it's in my personal belief, in real life, it takes more skill to run with the Lucas Oil Dirt, the Lucas and the World of Outlaws, than it does the Cup Series, and that's just my personal belief. Because I think you have to wheel these cars a whole lot more than you do anything on asphalt. Have you got anything from these qualifying results coming in next? Yet I know
they're qualifying right now.
They're qualifying right now. They ain't got them. They ain't got them in yet. These guys do something that ain't really looked at a whole lot. Not, I think it's great, and they actually run stages on the dirt, which I've never really been in a dirt league that has done that. One thing after broadcasting some of these races, I really noticed is they run stages, and I've never really been a big fan of stages in any kind of racing. I think it spoils the strategy and everything else out in it. But I mean, these guys are going to be running balls to the wall every single lap around this thing.
Oh, yeah.
I
He's just now finishing up qualifying, and we'll get y'all see who won the pole here.
Are they in one big lobby, or are they just in two?
I think they're in one big lobby.
It makes sense because there's no draft. They ain't really got spread out or anything. Oh, man.
I'm pretty sure they'll invite you first. Just
Yeah, I'll send it to you whenever I get it. This is definitely going to be a great race, and I think that outside on these restarts, from my experience racing here, I think that outside is going to get the jump going down into one, and should be able to clear him by the back stretch and have a lead.
we have your pick, AJ, sitting on the pole.
Hey now.
Sitting on the pole with a 12.817.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like we said. There's going to be some. I'm a firm believer. There's going to be some sevens in this race. 100%. There's somebody. There's. How far is first from last? Is it over a tenth?
It's within a tenth, anywhere from a 12.817 to a 12.9. There's the invites.
Here we go. We're gonna get y'all rolling and set up now. I almost hit my share button there. Dreeben Motor Speedway, one of the fantasy tracks in this game, and it's definitely interesting, how there's kind of that downhill portion and the downhill and uphill going into each and down the straightaways. It's definitely a little awkward in that respect, but it's definitely a fun track to race. That 7, the Coke NF number 3 car on the outside, and here we go racing. First thing off, AJ beats him down into 1. Looks like he got that inside wall just a little bit. The 3 car gets around him just like I predicted. Down into 1, AJ battles back, kind of gives him a door. AJ will lead that first lap. 3 shuffles on back. Now the 66 of Too Slow Charlie down there. Looks like he's going to take second all the way back from 5th.
They are 3 wide for second place. AJ is checking out.
And back there in the...
Sort it out quick. AJ is gone.
You got to run him down in a hurry. Man, it's like they just threw those dogs a bone, and AJ is the bone right now that they're all trying to chase. Back there in the pack, they are trading positions like it's nothing. Sitting back here looking back from a 17 car. Man, that thing is hooked up around this thing. Is that Too Slow Charlie that is now in second, pulling away from the rest of the pack. Looks like they're getting things kind of separated now. A little bit more than they were.
He turned a pretty good lap in qualifying. He was dropping back through the field. He's back in 5th place.
AJ just clipped that inside. It's letting that 66 of Too Slow Charlie catch up to that 17. I don't think he's going to have anything for him by the end of the stage. He might, though. Both these guys have that thing absolutely hooked up and hammered down. This Charlie really looks to be entering that corner really straight. Has a really straight and solid entry into the corner while AJ really throws her in there.
That 17 car is the fastest on the track right now. I think he's still going away from Charlie.
Yeah. Looks like Charlie was really, he closed in there for a couple laps, but AJ got her all sorted out. He is rocking and a rolling all the way around this thing. That thing is eating up the dirt, eating up the miles. With how many laps are we in this first stage?
We're now on lap 12.
already, like we said, these things are going by quick. Don't close your eyes. You will miss it. Running blazing fast lap times. You see that 17 is pulling away from Charlie, and it looks like the 3 car, we're going to go back here, back in the pack. The 3 is now closing in on that 66. I said that 66 looks a little tight. He ain't able to get it down there as low as the 17 and the 3 is. I think the 3 is going to be able to make a move in the next 5 to 6 laps. That 3 is really closing in.
Ooh, looks like AJ caught the outside wall just a little bit there.
And that 3 he's on his back bumper now. Looks like that 3 definitely has the second fastest car in this field, with Charlie being right there close with the 3rd. See right down there, 66 slides up. Looks like that 66 got that inside wall a little bit. Now the interesting thing will be if this 3 can hunt down that 17, who has been the man to beat so far in this thing. As AJ would say in one of our races, he is hot to trot.
Yeah. Hot to trot, hard to catch. This guy's gone. That's 3. Kate starts pulling away from Charlie.
I think that 3 is kind of catching that 17 right now. They're definitely pretty close on speed, I do believe. I think that outside killed him. If he couldn't be able to get by him on the exit of Ford on that first lap, he was going to fall back, and he did. I think these guys are going to have one great race coming up right here. As the stage winds down, we're going to get that stage caution. I think these guys are showing it's hard to pass, and it's hard to make up positions once you lose them.
We're coming to lap 23 here, 23 of 30, so we're down to 7 to go in this first stage. That's how quick it's going by.
As this 3 looks like he has hunted that 17 down a little bit. 17 may be conserving those tires for a little bit later on. I mean, honestly, to keep that track position, keep that up, I don't see AJ pitting in this thing and getting those fresh Hoosiers.
If you're gonna pit,
I would say
you gotta pit the first stage. You can't pit the second stage.
no. You cannot. You're gonna lose too much ground. It's gonna be too hard to make it back up by the time you get it there. You're definitely gonna be seeing who all's gonna be pitting. As AJ looks to be closing in on lap traffic. Get y'all back to him right here.
3 to go. 3 laps to go in stage 1. At 17 of AJ has been your leader since the drop of the green flag.
Leading every single lap in stage 1, putting on a dominant performance so far. As we are now down to 2 to go, am I not wrong?
You're correct. There should be 2 laps to go here.
Coming around to get the white flag for stage 1. As you can see, I think AJ kind of laid off right there, making sure he ain't going to get caught up in that lap traffic. Making sure to keep that nose clean and keep it damage free. And that's actually going to be it for stage 1. That thing went by awful quick.
If you guys got up to go get you a snack or some sweet tea, you missed the first stage. AJ brings it home.
But none of us can blame you if you got sweet tea. Oh man, definitely a quick little stage 1. 30 laps into this, the rest of it's gonna be a 70 lap battle. Dogfight. If he don't pit here, I don't see him pitting the rest of the race. You know, I don't think it's.
It's a split field. Looks like you got some staying out, some pitting.
Ooh, looks like AJ did pit. He's going to be back to second. That 22 is going to be in first. See if he can still get back out in front of that 22 and continue to lead the laps this thing.
Depot 22.
AJ, what a crossover off the gate. He's going to give him a boot. 22 is going to...
It's under him. That 3 wide for the lead.
22 gets shot up a track. 17's going to lead coming out of 1. 17 looks like the 3's going to get to the inside of him. 3's not scared to use that bumper. AJ's going back. They're 4 wide now for third. 4, 5, a lot of cars wide. I don't even know no more as the 8 car goes around. Saves it though.
These guys
are going at it. I don't think AJ lost too many positions. It's going to hurt him. I believe he's going to be able to fight back to that 22. As he's now going under that 83, not wasting any time.
And he gets hit by 37. 37's under AJ.
AJ, man, once you get shuffled, it's kind of like Martinsville, which you know well, DK. Once you get off that inside, you're going backwards, and you don't know how long you're going to be going backwards.
I think he just needs to calm down. Right now he's being overly aggressive. Calm down, start hitting bars.
Make sure to keep that nose clean, everything else. Definitely a great battle in between this 17. We're going to get you back on the leaders. As the 3 goes to the inside of the 22. As the 3 is now still on new tires. 22 is on old 30-lap tires from that last run. As the 22 tries to pull a crossover move back to the inside.
Old tires versus new tires.
As that 83 now closing in as these guys race. Definitely a bigger battle as you see that 17 start closing in on both of them. Now he is still.
That was highly impressive. Clearing that guy on the outside. That's the difference between new tires and old tires. He was able to clear on the outside.
Oh, definitely. As you see, track position is key as the 17 looks to the inside of the 83. 17 now down there on the inside. It looks like he's even going to try for the 22 this time. He ain't going to be able to get there. He gives a boot to the 83. 83 is up in the wall a little bit. Comes back down on the 17. 17 now battling back on the inside. '17 clears by the 83 and now is hunting down that 22. He is a man on a mission. As a quote from Ricky Bobby, he is driving that thing like a pissed off teenager.
And I'm telling you, I thought Charlie was in the 66 car, but Charlie is actually in the 37.
Really? Well, last time I broadcast this thing, it was in Bristol, and he was in that 66, if I'm not wrong. As the 37 throws it in there, moves the 17, sorry, out of the way. We're going to get you a better look on this battle right now. Looks like AJ finally got that 37 clear. It looks like how hard he's going to throw it in here. AJ, yeah, he's got him clear now, and he's going to trot away from that 37. Definitely has the fastest car in this field, I do believe. He's going to start working on that 3 and trying to hunt him down. How many laps do we have left to go on the stage?
We are coming down to, just when they cross the line here, the 8 laps to go.
Man, that 17 is picking up at least a 10th a lap right now. I don't know if he'll be able to get him in time, but he is rocking and rolling. He is hunting him down. I don't think he's going to be able to get him in time, though. This field's starting to get a little more separated, man. They are on top of each other here at Dreeben.
We're down to 5 laps. Nope, 4 laps to go here at this stage.
3 to go now. Like we said, this thing goes by quickly. You see how much that 17 has closed down that gap from that 3 car. He's definitely not going to be able to get him in time, but he has closed that gap and reeling him in like a fish.
White flag will be out of this lap. 1 more lap to go. It's the second stage.
And as they cross the line, that second stage is over. Man, it was a quick one once again. Next stage, we're going to have 10 more laps. It's going to be one 40-lap run. Definitely going to be interesting to see who all's going to start on that, or who all's going to pit, I think.
Right, man. If this restart is anything like the previous restart, you guys are in for a treat. They were 4 and 5 wide for second and 3.
Well,
Not close.
if it works the same way as it did last time, if AJ got there, would have had 10 more laps, we would have saw a very impressive battle between the 3 and the 17. So if AJ starts on that outside again, I think we can go ahead and already predict he is going backwards. Whoever's going to start on that outside line off the get-go, they're going backwards.
We'll see who decides to take fresh tires here and who decides to stay out. And it looks like your leaders all stay out.
Which I believe is a smart move now in the race. You can't fight back from that far back. As they fire off here in the third and final stage. AJ going to try for that crossover move once again. Gets knocked out of the way.
Was that Charlie that just knocked him out of the way?
It was in that 37. Now Charlie is battling. Charlie will take the lead over from the 3 car. Charlie, a guy that we have not talked about much during the race, is rocking it now. 3 gets into the wall. That 9 car of Crow Dog down the inside of the 3. The 3 trying to get regrouped, battle back to get that 37. But the 9 is on. As the 9 sends the 3 into the wall. That 7 allows the 17 to get back up there to 4th. He's now going to be back into 3rd. Gets underneath him and then gets under the 9. He is not taking no for an answer right now. This is insane.
Beaten and banging for second place.
Well, boys, if y'all know,
where has he been this whole race? He's now in second place.
well, I'll tell you what, if they don't get things going in a hurry, that 37 is driving away, and I don't believe anybody can catch him right now as long as they keep battling like they are.
And there's going to be some tempers flaring at the end of this race. See AJ and Kate, the guys that have dominated this whole race, they're just stuck outside.
As I mean, unless that 00 of that 9 is going to be able to get back up there, I believe it's going to be over. That 37 has walked away from this field unless there's a caution, which I don't even want to know what happens if these guys get a caution late in this thing. These guys still are beating and banging back there in that back. As you can barely see the 37 from the 00's front bumper. He is gone. Double zero just don't look like he's carrying as much speed as that 37 is to the corner, and I think that's going to really make up the difference as the 37 continues to walk away The field is separated out unless there's a caution. I believe that 37 car is going to get the win.
That's the way it's looking, Charles. Charlie and Jake, they're on their way back up there. They might make it up in a second. They definitely, they don't catch the leader.
How many laps are left?
There's a lap count here on coming to 4 laps to go here.
They might if they put a move on real fast. They might, but I don't think so. I believe they've got too much damage on them now to even really matter. They might get up to 30 or second, but they ain't gonna have nothing for that 37 right now, as he has walked the dog on these guys in this final stage. As the 22 goes around.
Would that bring out the caution?
No, it will not. They will stay green. As that 22 is still spinning down there. Going to be multiple laps down by now. Going to be the end of his race.
Challenging for second place right now, AJ.
No, that's 11. He's a lap car. I thought the same thing. Yeah, it's 11. Similar paint schemes. The 9 looks to close in on this 00, but like we said, you can't even see the 37 anymore from this 00.
We are coming to 13 laps to go here in the final stage. Your leader, Charlie, made a really aggressive move on that restart and got the lead, and he never looked back.
These guys are having a wonderful battle here. Three-way battle for second, but that's all it's going to be a battle for. As AJ's now looking for third, trying to get underneath that 9 car. I don't believe. I don't know. It's definitely going to be an interesting shuffle out with these laps ticking down in a hurry.
He sends it down in there, knocks the 9 up the track.
You get there, you get.
That's what you have to do, I think.
As the 00 gets into the wall, that allows the 17 to close back in. 17 now looking back, looking down that 00, has him in his sights. And the battle is for second. There is no one that can touch that 37. I don't believe there's going to be a caution at this stage in the race. I believe it's 2 cycled out now to have one. As that 00 is starting to walk away from AJ. I believe that 17 has a little too much damage and too little time. That's the best bet for him. He was multiple laps down. I believe he got all the positions he could. As AJ looks to be still hunting down that 00. Is that the 37? Did something happen to the 37 up there?
Oh no, he's still going here down to 4 laps to go, coming to 3 laps to go right here. He crosses the line.
As that 17 is at that 00's back bumper. See how hard he forces the issue. Ooh, and we just saw he got to his door. He got underneath him. He's going to take second this lap.
Coming to the white flag here. The 37 of 2 slow Charlie. Again, I say he needs to change that name to Too Fast. But either way, 2 slow Charlie.
He throws her around that last corner. That's all she wrote here in the Dudes Broadcasting Network. The bullring 100 here at Dreba. Man, that was a fast one. That 37 pulled away off the start of that last stage and never looked back. We got caution free from the get-go. Amazing race by these guys. They really put on a show.
I tell you what, them restarts were hectic. And as you saw, yeah, AJ and Cake were 1-2 coming in that final restart. And they just got shuffled back. They was never able to rebound.
We saw that happen to AJ on both of the stage ends, and you hate to see it, but what you do love to see is that 37 in victory lane. Yeah, I believe that is multiple wins for him. I'd see if there was a 7. There was 1 7 in the field, and that was Coke FN with a 7:93. Wicked fast lap time by him.
So who was your top 3? It was Charlie,
It was and the 00. Whoever the 00 was.
You already backed out, so I don't even know who it was.
Gotta get these guys in here. Gonna back out, leave the lobby. First off, we're gonna get Too Slow Charlie in here right away. Extreme Dirt Tour, go over to that 37. Amazing run by him. See if we can get him in here. And sorry for the blue screen. Maybe I can get AJ in here and he can invite everybody else. I think that's the best. How about you? Try to get Too Slow Charlie in here right now. Once again, sorry for the blue screen. I know it is taking me a minute. Gotta look him up here. There's the man that will get us in. Could you invite AJ? Could you invite?
Yeah, I got you.
Thanks. Who finished 3rd behind you?
My bad, JT in 2nd stage. I tried to let you go by, but I just did everything else up behind us.
It was just a madhouse.
It really was. It was absolutely insane from the green flag drop. Wild.
It was crazy.
Yeah, you're telling me.
AJ, I'm sorry. I think I put a little bad juju on you there.
Yeah.
Cold Dog's got one. Cold Dog's got one coming, though. Cold Dog's got one coming. I'll tell you that.
All right, Charlie. Y'all can go ahead, boys.
Charlie, is your mic set to always loud, man?
Yeah, he's
Yes,
good.
sir.
Alright, man, you know, we didn't talk about you much. First of all, we thought you was in a different car. Thought you was in a 66. Awesome race, man. You know, we didn't talk about you much in the first 2 stages, but you got down there, restarted 3rd in that last stage, if I'm not wrong. Made the aggressive move underneath Coke and took the lead and never looked back. Any thoughts and opinions on that one?
Well, at the end of the start of the 2nd stage, I don't know what was going on, but it seemed like 3 car was having problems. Brake checked everybody or something. I don't know. We all piled up behind him. So when the final race started, I said, it ain't gonna be no brake checking this time. I'm going around him. So that's what I did.
I can't blame you for that one, man. It, like you said, man, it was a absolute madhouse off those restarts, and it was really a crapshoot to see who could get out in front and who could lead. We saw a couple different leaders of this thing, and we saw, you know, who really had the fast cars, and looked like whoever got to that lead kept it. And I mean, what did you do out there, man, on the restarts to get there and, you know, put yourself in position to get there and get underneath him and take that lead?
I just tried to stay patient. Like I said, when that second stage started, I don't know what happened, but it seemed like he brake checked everybody or something. I don't know. Everybody piled up behind him. So when the final stage started, I just went. Didn't look back.
I cannot blame you at all for that one, man. Great win. Really impressive to see you drive away from those guys. Nothing else much to say, man. Just great win. DK, you
I
want
like
to
dedicate this race to Shane. He just lost his grandmother. Nowhere to run. He runs in the league, and I want to dedicate it to him.
Alright, that's, as you see, man, that right there is awesome. I've known Shane since Heat 2 too, and I didn't know that.
Yep.
Definitely thoughts and prayers go out to his family tonight, and definitely thoughtful and really big of you to dedicate your win tonight for him.
Appreciate it.
Not a problem, man. It's DK. You can take AJ right here.
Alrighty, man. Alright, AJ, we watched you dominate the first stage there. You look like a ping pong ball the rest of the night, getting bounced off of everything and everybody. Kind of go through your race, man. You see you rebound back to second, so congratulations on that. And just kind of go through your race for us.
Yeah, man, I thought that was mine tonight. Kind of disappointed with how that all shook out. Kind of got hosed there, took that first stage like you said, and then everybody but one dude came down pit road for service there at the end of stage 1, and I ended up starting on the outside there in stage 2. Of course, got blasted back to 7th or something, drove it back up to 2nd before the end of the second stage. Nobody came down there at the end of the second stage and started in the second again, and I guess I was kind of a innocent bystander. Charlie not lifted or whatever at the beginning of that second stage. I got the raw end of that deal, got shuffled back to 7th again. Finished there at the end, but man, I'm really disappointed, and I thought we had the fastest car there tonight. Put it on the pole, walked off in stage 1. I was set up nice for the rest of the race until that 22 didn't pit there at the end of stage 1, put me on the outside. And like you said, I was kind of a ping pong ball there for the remainder of the 60 or 70 laps, whatever it was.
Oh yeah, it's a solid rebound back up to second. I know it's disappointing because you definitely, from what it looked, you definitely had the best car out there tonight. But congratulations on the second place finish, man.
Thank you guys, and appreciate y'all calling it for us in the booth as always. Y'all the best, man. Thanks for having us here on the channel. Thanks, guys.
No problem, man. Man, we ain't the best. You are.
Whatever. Maybe do some in-race report next time, but I can do my car better first.
Alright, man. Well, Coke FM, man. Just to be honest, I didn't know who you were coming into this night, but you sure did make your name heard. From the get-go, you looked like you had a pretty fast car. Really, the second fastest car. You actually ran the fastest lap of the race in that 7, that blistering 7. You know, as you kind of heard Charlie talk about, you know, you stacking up the field right there on the second stage. What happened there?
Well, I guess we went to turn 1, and you know, the cars, you know, they got a little jumbled up. The 17 car, he came down a little bit. I got into the wall. When I hit the wall, I slowed down a little bit. And then we go into turn 3. I get into him a little bit, push him up the track, and I try to let him go by, and he just jumbles up the whole field. So I took the whole blame for it. I tried to let everybody go by, but it just kept getting worse and worse. So I just let him just gonna go. So I just went, and I didn't want to win that stage, but I did.
Man, don't tell us that. You always want to win. I don't want to hear that one.
I didn't want to win. I didn't want to win like that. I didn't want to take anybody out for it. I don't like that. I don't take anybody out.
Well, I mean, yeah, we definitely all understand that. It looked like you had a really fast car, and you proved that you had a really fast car in that race. You know, it was just definitely, you know, it was an absolute madhouse on those restarts. I think y'all were at least, I think back there for third. I think we saw in the first stage, or maybe the second stage, they was 6 wide at one point behind you. Just absolutely insane off those restarts. You know, once you got shuffled out, you got shuffled out for good.
Yeah, I honestly felt like I had the fastest car all night. It's just that third stage, and Charlie got under me. He pushed me up the track a little bit. Well, I got back in behind him, and the 9 car, he just ran me straight through the corner, put me into the wall and everything else. So, you know, it is what it is. I'll be there next week, and I mean, if they want to drive me like that, I'll drive them like that.
Well, man, that's kind of like what we like to. That's how I've always raced. You know, if eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. It's kind of the way you have to treat it sometimes and be really aggressive. I agree with you 100% there, man. You put on one great performance tonight. Definitely had one of the if not the fastest car in the entire field. Definitely going to have our eyes on you in the upcoming races. Congratulations on the top 3.
Thank you. And thank y'all for broadcasting this.
Man, no problem. It was our absolute pleasure.
Oh yeah, watching these races, man, it's entertaining.
We try to put on a good show for everybody, so.
Y'all definitely did tonight. DK leading us out right here tonight. Any last thoughts or any last messages?
Well, I mean, I said it at the beginning of the show, man, we were going to see some dive bombing, some beating and banging, knocking out of the way, and that's what we saw, and I think some tempers are flaring at the end of it, so stay tuned for next week.
Yeah, definitely. It don't matter what it is, as long as it's a short track. You're definitely gonna see some tempers flare and some fists thrown. Maybe some of these guys need to get on UFC after this thing's over.
Either that or some Grand Theft Auto taking frustration out.
Definitely. I think it's gonna be it, man. These guys put on one absolute hell of a show tonight. Just amazing, and I think that's gonna lead us out of this thing. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Dudes Broadcasting Network. Make sure to tune into Outlaw Racing Station this Thursday, as we will be headed to Auto Club. Thank y'all for tuning in, and thank y'all for listening. This has been Bulldog 46X and
DK Brown 86. You guys